Hey guys, thanks for coming to watch the video. Today I'm going to be ranking my top 10 USMNT players. I've also brought a friend to rank his top 10 USMNT players. You want to stick around till the end because there is a funny blooper. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video.
The cross comes in towards Pulisic, the chest control, he has support on his right foot. Christian Pulisic, absolutely brilliant by the...
Alright, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today, me and my friend Will here are going to be discussing our top 10 USMNT players in the pool right now. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Will.
Alright, Will, I'll go ahead and plug your Instagram, and he also does an occasional Twitch stream, so I'll go ahead and plug that as well. Do you want to kick things off?
Yes, so at my number 10, I have Musa. I do think that he has some of the most upside, I think, in the whole men's national team itself, but as of right now, I don't think he has the quality to really be up there towards the top 5, so I have Musa as my number 10.
Okay, at my number 10, I went with who I believe is the best striker in the pool, and that is Daryl DK. I really admire how he plays. Like, he's big and strong, and that's how I like to play. He's a big target man who goes out and wins the headers. Obviously, I'm not as good as him, but I would like to be able to play like him. This one might be a little controversial because I know a lot of people like Sargent or other strikers, but Daryl DK is my number 10.
I totally agree because at number 9, I have Daryl DK. I also believe he is the best striker on the men's team for sure. Especially with his running form as of late, I do think he is the best striker. And physically, like you said, he is a menace to society. So I would love to see him get higher and higher as the years go. So he's my number 9.
All right. My number 9, I put Yunus Musa, so we did flip-flop on that one. I think he's really good. He has a big ceiling, probably maybe, I don't know, second or third best potential in the USA national team. It's just he's still young. He already plays in the top 5 league where he's getting a lot of minutes. He plays a lot of games. I think this time next year he'll move up 2 or 3 spots. He can get there next season. Like, he has the potential. He's just a little too young and needs some more experience.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So at my number 8, I have Miles Robinson, the center back at Atlanta. I don't know. It's a little iffy because he is very inconsistent with his run of form, but he is a beast. He is very quick. That's what you need as a center back, especially nowadays. But he's the kind of center back I would want with a growing team like the men's team that we have in America right now. So I would say he's a solid number 8 for me.
Okay, I do think Miles Robinson, I think honestly in our Gold Cup roster, he has like the best work rate out of anyone, but he's nowhere near my top 10. At number 8, I went ahead and put Timothy Weah. He plays in a top 5 league, which is really good enough to get you on this list. I know it might be a little bit controversial because he doesn't play every game for them, right? And he does get injured from time to time. But I think a healthy Timothy Weah is more than enough to be in the top 10, and so I put him at number 8.
Yeah, I used to have a liking for him, so I would agree with you. But as of right now, I don't think he deserves to be in the top 10, which is pretty controversial if you think about it. But that's just my thought. My number 7, I have Anthony Robinson, the left back for Fulham, and I think right now, second best fullback in the men's team right now. I've liked him so much, but sadly with the stuff that he's going through at Fulham and his injuries as well, I don't really see too much of a ceiling that he used to have. But I think if he gets into a better team with his domestic play and then starts playing the way he should be in his national play, I think he can really rise up into the list very quickly.
Okay, I actually have the same guy. So this is our first one where we pick the same player. I have Anthony Robinson from Fulham. I do think, like you said, he's the second best left back in the USMNT pool. I think he's probably one of the top 5 best left backs in the Premier League. He just can't prove it with a team like Fulham, who just got relegated. I believe before the season he was supposed to go to either Inter Milan or AC Milan. It's just, I want to say there's like the visa didn't get free, but he definitely would have played there. I hope he can get a transfer somewhere, and then he can really show he's maybe one of the top 5 best USMNT players right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think he does have a really high ceiling. We just got to see if he can really get back into it. At number 6, this may be a little controversial because I would say he is kind of low. I have Reina in at number 6. Um, I think he does have the most upside out of anyone on this team, 100% by a long shot. But as of right now, I haven't seen, again, much consistency. I mean, we do run a 4-3-3 with a cam in the middle at times. And with him being that cam, I see him really holding that responsibility. I can't really. He does have that quality. He still has a lot of ceiling. So maybe he can prove me wrong within this. I'm hoping he will. But right now, he said.
So at my number 6, I went with Serginho Dest, which I think might be even like way lower than a lot of people have him. He does play at Barcelona, a really high club. I just think he is also really inconsistent. They play him at right back. He scores a couple goals. He's really good at getting forward, but as that right back, you also need to be able to defend, and he is not good enough at defending. Um, I think the USMNT needs to play him. Although Robinson is good, I think his natural position is a left back. He's just really good at being able to get up and make those runs, and then cutting in on that right foot and scoring like he did against Jamaica, which is the only time I've ever really seen him have that full game as a left back.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with that. At number 5, I actually have Sergino Dest. I can totally see him playing as a left back, especially as Brooks is that left center back, who is probably our best defending center back right now. And having him just helping out with Dest, his lack of defensive ability, I think it would be really good. But yes, I do have Dest at 5 for me.
All right, so we flip flopped again. I do have Giovanni Reina at 5. He, like you said, he has the biggest ceiling out of anyone in the USMNT, like bigger than Pulisic by a good chunk. Um, he he didn't play that much for Borussia Dortmund this season, but I believe he will be the man maybe next season. He can prove it right now in preseason as they just transferred out their attacking mid who was starting. So I expect to see him playing a lot and getting those stats up. He could definitely move up into a top 3 position if we do this video again.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, almost with any of these players, especially with their youth and how they're physically capable to still continue. It's really a toss-up at this point. Hold on one second. Gotta clear my throat. All right, so my number 4, this may be a pretty controversial, but I've gone for Brooks, our center back right now. I do think he just has the most experience in a top 5 league right now. And I've always loved him. I mean, 6'4", left-footed center back. I mean, his value's already skyrocketed with that, but he is a bit old, so his ceiling isn't really there anymore. He's in his prime, but I do think he is wholeheartedly deservedly at number 4, but he may drop within the next season or 2.
So I disagree and agree with you. I also have Brooks at number 4, but I disagree that he's past his prime. I think right now he's still getting in his prime. I want to say he's still only 28, which maybe for the USMNT, like that's old. But a normal guy like 28, like you're in your prime, still maybe not even hit your prime. That experience is huge for the USMNT. If there's anyone we need on that back line, it's Brooks. He's our best defender. He was able to get maybe a little better than decent Bundesliga team into a Champions League spot. That he'll be competing in the Champions League next season. Yeah, Brooks is my number 4.
Okay. At number 3, I mean, I think we discussed this off camera. Top 3 at this point is really a toss-up, just really on form. My number 3 is Adams. He has his inconsistent kind of plays, but I think between him and McKennie, he is technically better. I do think with his dribbling and his passing, he is better than McKennie. But he has had some injuries, and he is getting his playing time over, but I don't know. I think he's a little bit under McKennie, so I'll give him a number 3.
Okay, I have him at my number 3. I think honestly the most important player to have when we play with the US is Adams. His defensive work rate just really helps everyone get up. I think he's more important to the team than a Pulisic or a McKennie, but he doesn't do all that flashy stuff. He's not as fun to watch. he gets overlooked a lot, and honestly, I have him number 3, so maybe I'm overlooking him too. He's a great player and really does that defensive work. He's my number 3.
All right, yeah. Um, my number 2, I have McKinney. I do think he is a better midfielder right now. And I mean, physically, he's like a basketball player. I mean, he jumps out of the ceiling. He's a physical beast. I mean, I think way better physically than DK. But when it comes down to it, he has had some lackluster dribbling. But I do think just by a smidgen, I think he is a little bit better than Adams. So I'm giving him a number 2 for sure.
Okay, so at number 2, I've actually put my man Pulisic. I did not put him number 1. So the best ability you can have in soccer, right? The best ability is availability, and he is injured a lot, so you can't always rely on him to be there in the games. I think when Pulisic is at full health, he's our best player. We haven't seen him at full health in a while, so I mean he's a great player with Chelsea. Didn't do as much this season as I would have liked. Like I think he really had a pretty poor year compared to expectations, but he's still a great player, probably the most talented on the team. But like I said, the best ability is availability, and he's just injured too much to put at number 1. You want to go ahead and give your honorable mentions?
Yes, so I actually have 3 honorable mentions. I have Busio, who doesn't really get his contribution in there very much because he is a bit younger, doesn't have that quality, but I do think he is the future of the midfield behind McKinney and Adams. I do think he has a lot of upside, being that little smaller kind of player, but still really good on the ball and passing it around. I also have Acosta. I do think he's the one that really just takes it. I mean, I think he's just a little bit of a off-brand version of McKinney, I guess. He's all very good with his stamina, but just isn't very good on the ball as well. I do think his defensive ability is somewhat like Adams. He really likes to get back. I also have Legit. Sounds a little controversial. Apparently, from what Sauce hearing, he does get a lot of hate, but when he's on the pitch, he's set piece specialist, and he really just morphs around the team, especially if Reyna isn't performing. If we put him at that cam, I think it really does work out. So those are my honorable mentions.
I actually do like Legit. He scores for the USMNT, just not for great teams. I think that Acosta one, people are not going to like that one at all, especially after that penalty he gave, which was the only goal we conceded so far in the Gold Cup. But for my honorable mentions, first, I just want to say Stefan. I think he's a great goalkeeper. It's just really hard to compare a keeper to field players. So I just made a list of field players. He's good. Might be the top 10, might not. He doesn't play a lot for Man City, but he is at one of the biggest clubs in the world. I can't compare to the field players. Next, I have Aronson, who he's in Europe. I believe first season in Europe, and he did good. It's not the biggest European league. He plays on a pretty big powerhouse for that league. He got great stats, but I need to see him get a move to a bigger league. And then next I have Zimmerman. He's been great this Gold Cup, just got injured against Canada, but I do believe he could be that next center back next to John Brooks. So go ahead and tell me Pulisic's your number 1.
Yes, so Pulisic is my number 1. Sauce, you are very right. And I did think about the injuries. He is, a lot of the time, especially right now, he's not available. But when he is on the field, you really have to think about it. At a younger kind of age, it's around the average kind of age that we have on the team. He has like a sheer like fire that he brings onto the team. He has a lot of passion, especially for an attack that doesn't show too much passion. We have more of a midfield and defensive kind of passion, but our attack, I think, is one of our weaker kind of areas, if I'm being quite honest. It's very inconsistent. I think when we do have Pulisic, he just morphs completely around the entire team, and it's just a true team player when it comes down to it.
All right, no, if this was my favorite players, Pulisic number 1, the next guy wouldn't even come close. Pulisic, he's by far my favorite. But I have to give him that number 2. My number 1 is Weston McKennie. Had the biggest like outbreak this season. Like he was just at Schalke, who got relegated. There, he wasn't able to do much. He made his move to Juventus. No one thought he would start. Within a week, I think he started his first game. He was their biggest midfield contributor. Playing with the likes of Ronaldo, he's going to get that good mentoring. And when he plays for the USMNT, especially in that Nations League we just saw against like Mexico and Honduras. He was the best player out there by far. He's from Texas, our home state. You gotta love that. But McKinney, he shines. He's the best. If there's a U.S. game tomorrow, McKinney's the most important player to have.
All right.
So with that being said, I want to thank Will for coming on the show. Like I said, I'll go ahead and plug his Instagram and his Twitch, as well as I'll also put them in the description if you want to see. So thanks for watching.
Appreciate you.
Sir.
So I don't really know. Mom, I'm trying to do something. Can you leave? You're going to have to edit that out, Sauce.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. I do want to thank Will one more time for coming on to the channel and helping make this video as good as it was. I'm Sauce, and this has been Sauce's Scoop USMNT.